Hi guys, welcome back here to Cango Wildlife Ranch for our second live stream of the night. We again just gonna wait for a few more people to join us as always before we get going with the live stream. So say hi so I can see who's joined already. Let's say hi to you guys. Felix, thanks for joining. Janet, thanks for joining. Tutti Fruity. So yeah, we are here with the lions, Sindile and Tribe. They're laying nicely together there. Sindile is just behind Tribe at the moment. So we're just going to wait for them, for some more people to join the stream, and then we'll get started on the info session about our African lions. Okay. So yeah, don't be shy to say hi, guys. Let me see who's all watching. Shout out to say hi to you guys. Any questions, feel free to ask. Right, I've got Ryan again joining, Patrick again, Louisa, thank you for joining, guys. Dad, thanks for joining, everybody. See, we've already got just over 20 viewers, so it's pretty cool to have you guys here with me. Janet saying hi. Paul Burgess from Edinburgh, Scotland, awesome. PJ Erickson saying he's getting homesick now. So he wish he was a little boy again growing up on the ranch. I'm sure it was an awesome time. Hi Tanya. Hi Craig. Craig is one of our colleagues. He is the zoological manager here at the ranch. Craig hosts. Alright guys, so I think we're going to get started. We're just short on 40 viewers, so that's quite a few. So yeah, we're here with our white lions, African lions, tonight. Spending the night just outside their enclosure. It's the second last night of our After Dark series. Tomorrow is obviously our last night then. It's been quite a privilege to talk to you guys all and bring the animals to you and just let you guys see them and learn a little bit about them so far. Seeing who else? Karika, hi. Liz, Marcus from the UK, thanks for joining. Elise, hi. Onita, Pinar, also saying hello, joining us here. All right, so Sindile is up, stalking, typical lion behavior. All right, so Tribe couldn't be bothered. He's too lazy. That's a typical behavior of lions. Very, very lazy animals. They can sleep up to 20 hours a day. All right, so very similar to house cats in that sense. They like to sleep a lot. They don't waste their energy doing unnecessary activities. They save the energy for when they need it, such as for hunting or protecting their territories. Okay. Craig with his jokes. You all been lying around. Thanks, Craig. Okay, so yeah, the lion's current IUCN red list status is vulnerable. The population is decreasing. Okay. The current estimates on the population sizes, I see you, Sindile, is roughly between 23 and 39,000 across Africa. Okay. That seems like quite a bit, but that's not as much as what we used to have at one point. Okay. Threats that these guys face, unfortunately, poaching is a huge one for their body parts. The bone trade as well as the reduction of prey items. Sindile is coming over to say hi. She might just do a little run at the fence in a second. No. Hi, big girl. Hi. What's up? What's up, Sindile? Hey. Coming to see what I'm doing, girl? And off she goes. Okay. So yeah, like I was saying, the numbers are in decline. Problems that they're facing is poaching, illegal hunting, as well as loss of prey items. There was a study that was done between 1970 and 2005 where they studied about 78 different herbivore species which would form part of their prey items, which these guys would feed upon. And across that time period, Southern African populations actually increased by 24%. But then when they had a look at some of the other African populations, the East African population declined by up to 50%. And then the scary figure is that the West African population declined by up to 85%. So these guys' food, their numbers declined in West Africa by up to 85%. Okay, that's insane amount of loss of animal population right there. Okay, let's see any comments coming through here. Just gonna have a look. Any questions, comments? Marinda saying just thanks, living close by, I can hear them, so special. Yep. A lion's roar, you can hear a lion's roar up to 8 kilometers away. I'm just laughing at Tribe's face right now. I don't know if you guys can see it on the video, but his tongue is actually sticking out. The tip of his tongue is sticking out, so looks quite clumsy, but pretty cute at the same time. Let's see what else is coming through. A hi from Melissa from Joburg. Robin Wardcock saying hi. Adam saying putty cats. Karina saying hi from Tanin. Dorinda saying, did I bring some extra pants with some delay sneaking up? No. Pretty comfy this side of the fence. I'm not in the enclosure, so I'm pretty safe. Melissa saying there's a horrible stats. It is very sad. And that's all also due to the illegal bushmeat trade, where these animals are poached for their meat. So that's one of the contribution factors as to why the herbivore population in those areas declined in such a large amount over such a short time frame. Okay, it's a 35-year time frame, so it's not that long, but a massive decline in populations. Okay, so also spoke about the use of their body parts and bones in traditional medicines, not just here in Africa, but overseas in Asia as well. The lion bones are now replacing tiger bones in traditional wines that they would use in the different countries in Asia. So, and a lot of those bones, unfortunately, are sourced here in South Africa through the canned hunting industry. We are very vocal against the canned hunting industry. We do not support it in any way. We think it's completely unethical, and that's pretty much where lions are hand raised by people, and then they're put into a small little enclosure, and then guys come and they shoot them. And these lions that are part of that canned hunting industry, they are used to people, so they don't have that fear of people. They're not going to move away from people, so they come closer to investigate, and then unfortunately they do get shot, and those bones then get exported overseas to form part of that bone trade. So it is something that is legal in South Africa, and it's something that we don't support in any way. We don't agree with that practice. Okay, it's very unethical for us, so it's not very nice. Okay, let's see what else is coming through from you guys. Magda saying it's just beautiful to watch them. A hi from Leon. Okay. These guys, they were here from a very young age. They did come to the ranch, and they've been here pretty much their whole life then, and they will continue living their lives out here with us. This is their forever home. They will stay with us for the rest of their lives. We also don't breed with them. Tribe has been snipped, so he cannot make babies. So yeah, we don't breed with our lions either. Karika's asking how old they are. They're around 13 years of age now. Okay, so I did mention earlier that these guys are white lions. Now, white lions originally do come from South Africa. They were originally found in the Timbavati area around Kruger. So that's where they originally came from. And up until today, there are still occasions of white ones born in that area, in that part of Kruger. Tribe's going to slowly fall over. Loop. So lazy. All right. So yeah, they do occur in Kruger National Park. There has been quite a few sightings of them recently as well, of cubs that were born there, and that are still doing not too bad. They're doing all right. Okay, so it's not an albino lion either. There's a difference. These guys are leucistic, and it's just it's not a total lack of color pigments. These guys still do have color in their eyes. They do have color on their skin. With your leucistic lions or your white lions, there are some different colors on the fur as well, just not fully tawny like your normal tawny lions are. So there are some shades, but they predominantly are white. So it's a recessive gene, double recessive gene, and it's pretty much like blonde hair, blue eyes, that type of a thing. Okay, so that's where the color comes from as white lions. Just to explain that to you guys. Let's see, any other questions? Belinda saying hi. Gerard joining us again, saying it's one of the prettiest animals on earth. Yep, they are also one of the most recognized animals on earth. The nicknames are obviously King of the Jungle, King of the Beasts. These guys do have a very wide-ranging habitat that they will live in, from tropical rainforest all the way through to the interior of the Sahara Desert. So you do get populations that live in the desert that are adapted to living in the desert. They're more sleek, lean, they're taller on their legs, and also the moisture that they would need to survive, they get from their food sources. And they were even known to be eating a fruit that grows in the desert. If I'm not mistaken, it's called a tsama melon, which they will then get moisture from. Okay, but if they're not in the desert, these guys do like to live around water, and they will readily drink water as well. Sindile is walking around, seeing what's happening. All right, so the big mane obviously is one of the key features of the lion that makes them one of the most recognized animal across the world, is the big mane of hair that the males have. And now it is thought that the bigger the mane, the more powerful the male is, the better he does at fighting. Getting a little bit playful. And the mane's generally there to protect the neck from fighting with other males. You can hear some of the noises he's making, playing with Sindile. Alright. Alright, so yeah. Also, it's thought that females are attracted to males that have got the bigger manes as well as darker manes. It's also thought that that your mane gets darker with age in your males. Your normal tawny lions, their mane gets darker with age as well. Okay. Let's see any other questions coming through. So there's Belinda's asking, can you guys adopt animals to cover their food for a while? So it's a bit more personal. Yes, you can. The adoption process, you can go onto our Facebook site, onto our website. All the details are on there. You can choose a species or a specific animal to adopt as well. And it also gives you details of how much, more or less, it costs monthly to look after these guys, feeding costs, supplements, everything that we do need to give them. And you can take it over there, and you do get information about the animals that you adopt. We keep you up to date on how they're doing and all of that as well. So Carmen, one of our colleagues, she handles all of that, and she's doing a great job. Yep. All right, let's see any other questions coming through. All right. Okay, so like I said, very lazy animals that sleep up to 20 hours a day. Interesting thing about them as well is their food. The females generally are the hunters in the group. The males will only really join in on hunts if they are taking down very big prey items, like a big buffalo. Then the males will join in. Their power is then needed. The main job of a male is to protect the pride, to protect the territory. So that's his job. When the females do hunt, he will come and obviously have first choice on some of the food. but his main job is protecting the family. All right, and say now there's a pride and they've got young cubs. If another male comes in and challenges the current male of that pride, and the current male loses, the new male will go into the pride and kill all of the young cubs that are in the pride, so that the females can come into estrus again for breeding, so that he can spread his genetics and get his genetics into the pride as well. And talking about the prides, generally what happens is your females will always stay in the same pride, and then your males will drift in between prides. So sometimes what you get is coalitions of bachelors, and then they will challenge for control of prides. And when there's more than one male in a coalition of bachelors, it just makes the chance of successfully defeating the current male just higher. And then they share the responsibilities of protecting the pride and looking after the pride between the males. Okay, let's see what else we got coming through here. Belinda, Carmen has asked you to please email her. She's posted her email address there just to get more information on the adoption process as well. Right, just having a look at any other comments that's coming through, guys. Right. So, yep, there's a comment coming through about a lion that used to roar back to somebody when they used to call him. His name was Charlie. All right. Thanks for that, Jason. A few of the other guys also commenting on that. Thanks for that, guys. All right. Just having a look at other comments. Sorry, I'm looking at the comments on a different device, not the one that we're recording on, so it just takes me a little bit of time to go through everything, guys. So you can just give me a second, yeah. Okay. Cool, so those are pretty much covering the questions for now. Also, other threats that they do face is retaliation. So in different parts of Africa, where you do get these guys roaming more freely. In South Africa, we do not have lions roaming freely. If a lion gets out of one of our private game reserves or a national park, it does pretty much make national news. Everybody knows about it. So yeah, where they are walking more freely throughout Africa, if they do kill livestock or they kill somebody, there's often retaliation against the lions in the area, and they do get killed, as well as preemptive killing, where some of the people would go out, and if they do come across lions to protect their livestock or their families, they will then kill them as well, which is pretty sad. But yeah, they do that to prevent loss of life and their livestock, which is their livelihood. All right. So there's some nostalgia going on here with some of the guys thinking back to some of our previous lines that we had and how they used to react to the different people that used to work with them, which is pretty awesome. All right. So we also spoke about some facts early on in the first stream, some true and false facts about one of them was a claw, a so-called claw that lions have on the tip of their tail. A lot of people thought that answer was false, but it's actually true. They do have a so-called, well, not all individuals, some individuals will have it, so-called claw at the tip of the tail, but it's just a protrusion of hard skin that kind of looks like a claw, but there's no real purpose for it, and nobody really knows if there ever was a purpose for it. So it's pretty weird occurrence. And then lions have got 5 toes, 5 claws on the front foot and 4 on the back foot, but one of those claws on the front foot are obviously the dew claw, which is almost like our thumb, you could say. That comes in very handy when hunting, and you see when you watch lions hunting on TV, they usually will jump, for example, on a buffalo near the rump, and they grab, and those dew claws are very big, and they dig those in to get a good grip on the hide. Okay, now a rare occurrence as well is that they have a dew claw on the back foot, okay? But this dew claw doesn't serve a purpose at all. and it's also, they don't have control over that dew claw. It's just pretty much hanging there, wobbling. So Sindile, our female, actually has dew claws on her back feet. So they're not really attached to the foot so much. It's just really hanging by a piece, like the skin that keeps it there. So they can't control it at all or use it for anything. All right, it's pretty much like our appendixes. There's no real purpose for it being there. Okay, so just to give you some more information about the sizes of these guys. So your average weights for your males is anywhere from about 150 kilograms to around 220 to 30, and then your females around 110 to around 150, the early 150, so around 152, around there. Then shoulder height, your males usually stand about 1.2 meters high at the shoulder, and your females at about just on 1 meter. And then as well, your males are about just over 2 meters long, and then the females around 1.8 meters long. Okay, so the males are a bit bigger, not massive size difference there, but they are quite a bit bigger. I'm just going to move the camera a little bit that you can see Sindile a bit better. She's hiding behind the tree stump over there. So very lazy. These guys are more, they hunt more at night, so they are more active at night. Preferably as the sun goes down, that's when they would be hunting. It's also cooler for them at those times. It's easier for them to hide away from the prey. Like I mentioned earlier, they can reach speeds up to 80 kilometers an hour, but over very, very short distances. They can't run that speed for very long. They are built mainly for power. These are the powerhouses, all right, of the African predators. They're also the largest African cat. Okay. Let's see what other comments we're going. So Karika's asking how many cubs can they have at a time. It's usually around 1 to 4. It can go all the way up to 6 cubs at a time. I'm just going to change hands here. Arm's getting a bit lame. Sorry for the shake. Okay, so yeah, they can have up to 6 cubs at a time, but that's very, very rare occasion. Whoops, sorry. And the gestation period is usually around about 110 days. Okay, so the mom will carry the cubs for around 110 days. Just before she gives birth, she leaves the pride and she goes off on her own. And she will give birth. First couple of weeks, she stays on her own with the cubs. And once the cubs are a little bit stronger, she will take them then back to the pride and introduce them to the pride. Okay. See what else. Gerard saying like Sylvester from Beaufort West that escaped. He's happy in Addo now. Yes. That's true. And then Lara, she said, can I show where I'm sleeping tonight? Ooh, it's starting to drip a little now. So I'm just getting a torch. So that's my bed for the night. There's a little gazebo above it because we are expecting rain, and I actually do feel a few drops starting to fall now. So that's my bed for the night. Just put the torch off again. Sorry guys. It's a little headlamp. Works brilliantly. Thanks, Narinda. Okay. Let's see what other comments we're coming through. Okay, those are pretty much all the comments that you've got so far, questions that you've got. So another interesting thing about them is when they do feed, they do eat as much as they can, as quickly as they can. They can eat up to 15% of their body weight in a setting. These guys, obviously, one of their main competitors for food are hyena, spotted hyena. So unfortunately, the spotted hyena do have a bad reputation, but they are also very awesome animals. I love hyena. It's one of my favorite animals. Very, very interesting animals. I've been lucky to work with 2 or so once upon a time, a few years ago. Very interesting thing about them is that the females have a fake penis as well. Okay, let's see any other comments. Jason's asking, have they been vocal to that? No, not at all. They haven't called it all yet. So that will most probably happen a little bit later, early hours of the morning. Then they do become more vocal. And that calling is usually to establish that where their territories are as well. The males will do that to establish the boundaries around their territories, let others know who's where, and that this is their home, warn other males away from their areas. Right, so in the wild, all lions generally won't live longer than around 14 years of age. In captivity, that age can go a lot higher though. You can look at easily into the late 20s for captive lions. Okay, but your males generally don't live as long as your females because of the fighting with other males. Sometimes when they do fight for control of the prize, they do get then life-threatening injuries that they can then acquire during these fights, and they will then struggle to hunt, and they unfortunately do die from their injuries then. Okay, so you get two different types of lions currently. You get the African lion as well as the Asiatic lion, which is a bit smaller. And then you also used to get Barbary lion, which you used to find throughout Europe. They were a lot smaller as well, but with a much thicker mane, and the mane used to stretch all the way underneath the belly of the lion, the males, and that was thought to be due to the cold of European winters, to protect them from the cold as well. Okay. Some interesting comments coming through here. Tams is singing. Tams is our cat curator. She's not joining us tonight. She is at home, warm, in bed. Fatima saying they love Cango Wildlife. Thank you very much, guys, for all the love you have shown over these past 6 days. We do appreciate it. Okay, so sorry. Again, the reason why we're doing this live streaming, why I'm out here every night with the animals, it's a fundraising event, and to help keep the ranch going, to help us to continue to provide the high level of care that we give these animals. Because of the global pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, the ranch is closed and there's no tourists coming, so we don't have that income coming in like we usually would. And there have been some really generous donators already, and we are so appreciative of it, guys. We really, really thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we can continue working with these guys. To give you an idea where some of that money is going, today we were able to purchase some heating lamps for some of our animals, the bulbs for those heating lamps. Like, I don't know if you guys saw any of our previous videos. Last night I was by the porcupines, and then I paid a visit to Malcolm, and there was a red light shining in his enclosure, and those are the lights that I'm talking about. And usually to buy enough of those to last us the winter costs us between 10 and 12,000 rand. So today's purchase cost us 10,212 rand. So if it wasn't for you guys that have donated that money, we wouldn't have been able to buy those items for these animals to keep them nice and warm in the winter. So thank you very much, guys. We do appreciate all the donations, everything that you're giving. Every little bit helps. We all know everybody is struggling during this unprecedented time. So we do appreciate it more than you'll ever know. And so do the animals. All right, so that is the lions. It's pretty much just having a look at the comments coming through. Red commenting saying Tams is warm in bed eating chocolate. I'm pretty sure she is. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions, guys, please feel free to ask them. Don't be shy to ask questions. We love teaching you guys, giving this information to you guys to learn about the animals. All right, so then what I'm also going to do is I took you to a little surprise visitor earlier on. Well, not a surprise visitor, but a surprise guest, where we took you to Nanji, our African leopard. So I'll give you a little bit more information about about African leopards in general, just so that you guys can learn a little bit about them as well. Okay, so like I said, they're beautiful animals, the African leopard. One of my favorites. When it comes to appearance, they are absolutely stunningly beautiful. So yeah, the current IUCN and red list status of your African leopard is vulnerable. The population is also decreasing. Okay. Problems that they're facing as well is, again, loss of habitat, loss of prey items, like I mentioned about the lions. Also affects them as well. They're also poached for their skins and their bones and other body parts, which are also then used in the traditional medicine market. Okay. I also spoke about one of the true or false questions that we had earlier was that there are 9 subspecies of leopard, and there was a question as to I should name the 9 subspecies. So we've got, first of all, the African leopard, which we have here, and you also got the Arabian, the Indian leopard, the Javan leopard, the Sri Lankan leopard, the Indo-Chinese leopard, the Amur leopard, or which is just another version of another way of saying the Siberian leopard, and then the Northern Chinese, as well as the Persian leopard. All right, so those are the different subspecies of leopard that you get out in the world today. So they are also one of the most widely distributed cat species, big cat species across the world. They've got a very interesting call on them when they vocalize to mark their territory as well. It's got different names. It's very difficult to explain. It's called a rasping cough or a rasping bark. It's almost like, best way for me to explain it, it sounds like somebody sawing on a dry piece of wood with a timber saw. That noise that it makes when you saw, that's pretty much what it sounds like when they do call like that. So if she does call tonight, I'm also going to try and record that for you guys, and then we'll try and post that. If the lions do call, I'm going to try and record that as well and post it for you. Just a question here again, what do they weigh? These guys, we don't really regularly weigh our lions, but your average weight for a male can be anything up to just over 225 kilograms. And your females also around 150, around there. Okay. Sorry. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Narinda's just saying my voice goes a bit soft from time to time, and that's just when I'm looking at the comments that are coming through. I'm busy watching that on a different device. The device that I'm filming from does not show the comments, guys, so sorry about that. I'm just having a look at the comments that do come through. That's why I'm also not replying all the time. Just take a break from the info and then go through all the questions and comments that do come through. Okay, so as you can see, lions being lions, extremely lazy. Sleeping Sindile is a bit awake, but not doing much anymore. A lot of questions that we get are, do we drug our animals? Because people see these animals sleeping all the time, okay, especially during the hot summer days, and that is a very big no. We do not drug our animals. That is completely unethical to do. We do not believe in that. So the main reason why they do that is because that's what animals do out in the wild, all right? We always expect them to be active, running around, doing things, but one of the main reasons why we think that as well is because if you watch a documentary on TV about these animals, they show them being active. I mean, if you have to watch a documentary of animals just sleeping all the time, it will be pretty boring. So, and you see them being active on TV, you think that they're active all the time, but that's not what it's like. Animals are very clever. They don't waste energy unnecessarily on doing things unnecessarily. They save that energy for when they need it, to protect themselves, to get food. So it's built into them, all right? Ryan's asking, do they have a night house? So yes, they do. It's at the back where it's quite dark. You can't really see all that far now, unfortunately. But they do have a night house, which they do go into as well. With me being here, they'll most probably hang around the whole time. Quite unusual, so they'll be here to see what's going on. They might a little bit later be going into the night house, though. We'll see what happens. Just like the porcupines did last night on the live stream. Oh, there goes Sindile, sleeping as well. Porcupines on the last stream of the night last night also disappeared into the night house. Okay, guys, any other questions, please do feel free to ask. Okay. Other thing I wanted to say, I nearly forgot now, is with your leopards, you also get black leopards. So people always talk about a black panther. Though the black panther does cover black leopards as well as black jaguars. Okay, so it's just a melanistic version of a leopard or a jaguar, just like your leucistic with your white lions. It's pretty much the same situation, just with more melanin. All right, even though they're black, when the sun does shine on their coat, you can still see those rosettes, the spots that they have on their body, that basically are there, but it's just that the rest of the coat is also black. Okay, some more info about the leopards is the speed that they run can also be up to around 58 kilometers an hour. All right, their eyesight at night is about 7 times better than ours. All right, their hearing is actually 5 times better than ours. They hear 5 times more sound than us, than what we do. Okay. I mentioned earlier about the lions having that they can do a jump horizontally of just under 11 meters. Now your leopard is around 6 meters, and they can do a jump straight up to 3 meters. So one of the main things, key identifiers of leopards, is that they climb trees. They like living in trees, and they will sometimes drag prey items that weigh more than themselves up a tree to safety, where they can then feed on that prey at their own time without having to worry about it being stolen from other predators like hyenas, lions, jackals. All right, so if a lion has to come and take on a leopard, that leopard will not stand a chance of protecting that prey item, or a hyena in that fact. So they do take it up the trees where it is safe for them to eat. Okay. I also mentioned that leopards are widely distributed, one of the most widely distributed of the big cats, but they're also one of the most secretive and most difficult to see as well. Their camouflage works perfectly, and they're very difficult to see out in the bush as well. Okay. Okay, let's see what else we've got. Janet's saying they have so much room, yet they sleep so close together. Yep, they're quite a tight-knit pair. They don't really stray too far from each other. Okay, so it's quite cute as well. Let's see if any other questions coming through. Okay, in what subspecies black leopards are possible? They're mainly commonly seen in the African leopard, that you do get the melanistic version. Okay. Let's see what else. Jason saying a lot of confusion between, excuse me, my words are mincing. A lot of confusion between cheetah and leopard. So how can you tell the difference? Okay, so the difference between a cheetah and leopard, first of all, is your cheetah is built for speed and your leopard is built for power. Okay, so body size is a big difference there, as well as the spots. A cheetah has solid spots, where a leopard has rosettes. Okay, and then also when you look at a cheetah, they have black tear marks that run down the face from the inside corner of the eye, down the nostril, down the sides of the nostril, sorry, and the leopards don't have that. So those are some of your key ways of telling a difference between a cheetah and a leopard. So cheetah's more slinky, skinnier, and designed for speed, all right, being the fastest land mammal. And then your leopards are built for power and stealth. Okay, and then the facial key marks as well as the spots that are very, very different. Okay. Just having a look at the questions again, guys. Anything interesting coming through? All right, so you guys are more than welcome also to go and have a look at some of the dares that we've done during this time frame. So we also did a thing of 7 nights, 7 days. Each day the guest that joins me also has to do a dare with me. And today was my favorite one with Riette. We had a lot of fun. So when that gets posted, go and have a look at that, guys. It was a lot of fun doing. We had a lot of laughs. A lot of us were laying on the floor laughing while doing it at certain points of that video. So I hope you guys enjoy that video as well. So then also go back and have a look at some of our previous streams if you'd like, if you missed any of them. Some of the animals that I have slept with slept in the enclosures or around them. The porcupines last night, the pygmy hippos the previous night. Then we also did Lemur Island, where we've got our ringtail lemurs and flamingos. I also spent a night just next door here with the Taji, our female Bengal tiger. And then also we started off in the temple with our Malaysian flying foxes and a few other animals, our Malawian cichlids, the Vonderdecken hornbill, our blue duiker Didi. All right, that was the creepiest of the nights. Also the most difficult night for me, the first night. But so far the rest have been pretty good. I'm not getting as much sleep as I would like, but still getting sleep at least. The hippos didn't get much sleep actually. They were pretty loud, making a lot of noise throughout the night. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it. You got any other questions? Please feel free to ask. You can join us again one more time at 11 o'clock tonight for that live stream. We'll just be catching up with what's happened. If you guys have any more questions, then you can ask those as well. So Sindile has just lifted her head and seen something that I didn't. Okay, no, I don't need to worry. She's not too bothered by it. So, like I said, this is going to be an interesting night. We are expecting some rain though tonight, and then obviously we're right next to the river, so there are some animals that do come to the area where I'm sleeping: porcupines, mongoose, snakes, otters. So we'll see if I get any visitors tonight. So join in at 11 o'clock and I'll get you up to date at what's happening, what's going on. And then tomorrow is our last live stream of the event, guys. So join in tomorrow. And we can see where tomorrow during the day, you can see where I'm going to be sleeping and who's joining me for the night. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Also quite sad to be ending the event. It's been great. I've really enjoyed doing it with you guys, giving you information about all these amazing animals, and then as well bringing them to you virtually, seeing as you guys can't be to see them. All right. So as well at 11 o'clock, I'll be explaining how to get tickets. Between 11 and 12, we do have a flash sale where entrance tickets to the ranch, a normal standard entrance ticket is half price. Then you can get those. It's valid when the ranch does open up again, so when lockdown does end, and you can get I'll be explaining how to get to those at 11 o'clock during the 11 o'clock live stream. All right, thanks guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Sindile and Tribe have not been very active. They've been very lazy, unfortunately. Maybe a little bit later they will be active. We'll have to see. So yeah, that's it for me for tonight. I hope you guys had fun. Hope you learned something about these awesome animals and the majestic lion. Okay, so stay safe, and I will see you guys and speak to you a little bit later in about just over an hour's time. Cheers, guys.